Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First thing you're going to notice is that we're doing something a little different today. This is a gas furnace. If you guys have been here for a hot minute, you've probably heard me say about 100 times that I rent this house. Some of you are probably thinking I'm insane by working on my landlord's furnace, but what I'm going to tell you right now, just upfront life knowledge or whatever you want to call it, is the fewer interactions you have with a landlord, the better off your life is going to be. If there is anything simple I can do to this thing to get it back online, we're going to do it, just because the less you talk with your landlord, the better off things are. You want this to be a really smooth relationship. That said, I am also not an HVAC expert, so all I'm really going to do here is shut the power off to the thing, and right now it's completely faulted out. It doesn't make any heat. We're going to take the covers off and just shop vac it out, blow it out with some compressed air, and see if we can get the thing to act more predictably without really changing any parts. So all I'm doing here is giving my landlord's furnace a little bit of a light cleaning and see if that'll bring things back online. This house was built as a rental house. It is now coming up on 11 years old, I guess. It was built in 2010, so I guess more like 10 years old. And I can promise you this furnace has never been serviced. When I moved in, the filter was completely nasty. You can see visible dirt in all the air return ducts and everything else. I'm sure that a little bit of shop vac and a little bit of compressed air aren't going to hurt anything at all. Another disclaimer, I am not a professional, and you should not do anything I'm doing here based on anything I have to say. That said, I'm going to get that cover off and let's take a look in there. If we're lucky, it's just like completely packed with dirt and we can just sweep it out and it'll work right. The first thing I need to do is pull at least two of these screws out, because this top panel is held on with these two in the corners, and then it looks like the bottom panel is held on with the one in the middle. So we're going to get them popped out, have a look at what's up inside. Okay, looks like our sticker is falling off, and that's not good. This sticker is supposed to be stuck to the door, and those are the burners right there. So that would be bad if this fell down in there. So, and I can see those burners are really dirty, and there's a bunch of like dust and crap in there. Get you guys a little better shot. Those would be pretty sure those are the burners, and you can see they're just kind of corroded. I don't think that's our problem. I think we actually just have a pressure issue, because it comes on and lights up, and it'll run for like 30 seconds, then immediately shut right back down. So I think it's actually got a pressure problem, flowing air through the furnace, so it's detecting, bad airflow or whatever, bad flame front. You can see that that's pretty certainly never been serviced, and I'm not going to be the guy to do it. But let's get this bottom panel off and see what we see in there. Interestingly, those are different screws. Yeah, there's some dust going on. It's nothing horrific though. You can see there's like some corrosion in the bottom of this lid where crap has gotten in the way. Oh, neat. Here's something neat. That is a switch that is supposed to pop out so this thing won't run with the covers off. So this has been serviced before because somebody's taped that switch down. And I know that trick well because I've done it before too. And it looks like this is probably our model number for the furnace, which interestingly is not printed anywhere on the outside of it. And I think I'm already going to make myself a liar, because I think we are going to pop this blower motor out, because this should be like the combustion chamber exhaust blower, blah blah blah, and it looks like it's pretty simple to take that out. And I'm just going to take that out so I have better access to get in there with the shop vac and some compressed air and see if we can blow some nasties out, because it looks like it's only just a handful of screws to get it out, and it should be pretty simple to do, I think. We'll see. Worst case scenario is I stop halfway through, put the screws back in it, and we'll never speak of this again. It looks like the easiest way to extract that blower assembly is going to be just to take these 4 screws off around the exhaust pipe here, and then take the screws that actually mount it into the cabinet out, and then hopefully kind of just be able to pull it back out of our way. Another thing that's kind of a bold new world for me is this is the first appliance I've ever been in that has metric hardware in it. Those screws are 8mm in this thing. I guess that's the way of the world, but all my older stuff in the house I used to own was all SAE or standard, almost always all 5/16 or 1/4 inch. I'm just going to crack all these loose, because then if this whole thing starts to like drop out, like if this has the whole weight of the chimney on it, I kind of want to know before we get that far. And it does. So what do I do about that? So what I actually managed to do is get those screws out and then just lift the pipe up enough to get it to set on top of the cage here, on top of the furnace frame. No problems there. Go ahead and get the rest of the screws out on that guy and see if we can slip it on out of there and see what we're looking at. Okay, she's loose. Let's see what lies within, because I think this is our little evacuation pump motor guy. And a whole bunch of crap just came out of there. There's like a bunch of dust in it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like this vacuum hose is going to have to come off. Yep, no big deal, and it's just full of dust. So I don't know how well you guys will be able to see. There's like a bunch of really fine dust in here. I can actually see it like falling down as I'm spinning that around. Try and collect some of my fingers. It's almost kind of like sand. So I'm thinking it won't hurt a thing at all to get the shop vac up in here and some compressed air and just clean this crap out and see if that helps things. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of dust inside there that might just be from like combustion dust. So let's get our stuff fired up and see if we can effect a positive change. While we're on our fishing expedition here, I did just put a brand new filter in this thing, but let's pull the filter out and we might send the camera on an errand for us and just kind of stick it inside the vent and just see if that return is just stacked full of garbage or whatever. And we'll run the shop back up in there as far as we can. Oh yeah, you can totally see how gross that is. Let me stuff you guys on in there. You can see like a little literal line of filth there by my finger and all this crap. So yeah, it's not going to hurt one thing at all to just shop back all that crap out of there. And actually it does look like we can just take this top bar off of the air conditioning unit and then at least remove this one side panel. The other side panel has the plumbing and stuff coming through it, so I don't want to disturb that even if I could jimmy it back. But they've actually divorced it right on this seam, so I think we can take just half off and get in there with the shop vac or whatever and see. We'll give it a shot. It's only 6 or 8 screws. We'll try it. And we're in. It looks like we just have this piece of insulation in our way, and I can see the HVAC heat exchanger in there. I don't see like gigantic pieces of stuff in it, but I don't think it'll hurt anything at all to get a little air in there and see if we can help things. And that's also only half of the heat exchanger. There's another one just like that on the other side, but at least now we can get some air in there and just blow it, see if we can clean some crap out. You can also see it's not in very good shape. It's all rusty. The system was probably really cheap when they put it in, and it's probably still really cheap. So my guess is that the ultimate answer here might be for the landlord to just replace all this crap, but who knows? Landlords are notoriously cheap, so we'll see. I think the first thing now is to get the shop vac running and just sweep out what we can. Well, kind of to the surprise of no one, we ran out of shop vac capability pretty quickly. I just can't reach in around all this crap. Like an actual cleaning, they would, pull these burners out and scrub stuff down, all that stuff. And said, we're not going that deep. I've already gone deeper than I really thought I would. So the next thing I'm going to do is get in here with some compressed air. And the nice thing about compressed air is it gets everywhere. So if we just blow tons and tons of junk out of this thing, that's okay. We can shop vac the junk up once it's out. And it's as good of a time as any to mention that it's nice to have an inside the house air hose for exactly this kind of thing. This is just like a cheap, $15 50-foot air hose that I don't use in the shop. I just have it around for doing exactly this kind of thing. So it's not all greasy and grimy, so it doesn't get crap all over your carpet and all that. So food for thought. Always nice to have. Speaking of nice to have, is this insanely long air blowgun. And it's actually got like a Venturi tip on it, so it sucks more air in as it's going. So it's a high volume, kind of low pressure thing. If you ever watch Musty One videos, he uses one of these things all the time for like blowing leaves and stuff out of lawnmowers. And I bought one a couple years ago and I really like it. But anyway, that's what we're going to be using to get in this thing. So we've got a nice long reach to get way up in those coils, and I'm just going to kind of take it easy on the pressure and try not to disrupt anything. I don't think we will, but just taking it easy. Here goes nothing. Woo! Look at that. I think we're actually going to run the shop vac right there while I do this, because I didn't expect that. I'm just going to jam him in there like so, and he collects what he collects, hopefully more than nothing. Shop vac worked really nicely in combination with that. I hope you guys saw it, but like a whole dust storm blew out of there. We're going to give the compressor a minute or two to build pressure back up, and we're going to hit it again, see if maybe we can get in the vent a little bit and just kind of knock things loose. But I don't know if we actually fixed anything, but I got to think getting all that crap out of there is going to be helpful. So the compressor's back up to pressure. We're going to do kind of the second verse, same as the first thing, but down in that duct area, and just see if we can pull any grimies out that are just happen to be right there in this return duct. This is a pretty optimistic thing to do, but we're here. It won't hurt anything. We'll give it a shot. So we kind of got all we can, and there was a big plume of dust that blew out of there, so that's cool. We're going to let the air compressor build back up, and then I'm going to clean out that little bird cage for the actual combustion chamber there. Hit the whole thing again with compressed air, and I guess put it back together and see if it works more reliably, or at all. I'm strongly assuming it's going to work because we really didn't do anything. We just cleaned a whole bunch of crap out of it. And when I hit that combustion chamber the first time, boy, all kinds of junk came out. So, maybe that was it. Let's hope for the best and we'll see. I should have totally been wearing a dust mask for all this. That last pass, I got into a little bit of fiberglass insulation and thing, and it just blasted fiberglass out of there. But now we're done. We're blowing it out as much as we're gonna. I'm just gonna put all these covers back on. We'll turn it on. We'll see what happens. Like it never happened. Let's throw the switch back on. The thermostat's already calling for heat. It was when we started this. And we'll see if it lights off the first time and stays running consistently. And if not, then the next video will probably be how I almost froze to death in my sleep. That evacuation, that chamber evacuation motor running. So what it would do before is it would run for about 15 seconds, shut off, and then run that chamber again, evacuation pump again, light, so on and so forth. So this time we're looking for it to light and stay running. There, it just lit. I think by now it would have usually shut off, but obviously the thing still works at least some of the time because I haven't frozen to death yet. So we'll see if it's going to consistently operate or not, but it's a good sign that it took off right on the first shot. And now that's the fan that circulates the air to the house, I think. So anyway, this is looking good. We'll check up here in a little bit and see if it works consistently. Well, it's been about an hour and a half now, and this thing has cycled on and off flawlessly like 4 or 5 times. So I'm going to say mission accomplished. By no means am I stating that this is an actual repair. I'm sure whatever's going on in this thing is still going to be an issue in the future. I probably just threw a band-aid on it. That's more or less okay with me. This is a rented house. I'm not committed to it forever. If this gets worse or does it again, I'm going to call the landlord in and they're going to do whatever they're going to do, and that's going to be the way it is. All I need this thing to do is last me until it doesn't need to last me, and then it can be somebody else's problem. So if we bought ourselves a couple years here, or even a couple months, it's about to not be wintertime anymore, then super. But as always, guys, I want to thank you for stopping in, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Max, that's Saddington Bear, and we make videos like this all the time. Here are a couple links to some other videos we've made, and we really appreciate you guys stopping in.